Have you ever lost something so important that your heart stopped? Imagine walking through a busy city, enjoying your day when suddenly your wallet is missing. What would you do? In today's story, Maria faces this exact moment of panic. Will she find her wallet, or is it lost forever? Stick around to see how one simple mistake leads to an unforgettable lesson. You won't want to miss what happens next. The lost wallet? It was a bright Saturday morning, and Maria woke up feeling excited. The sun was shining, and the weather was perfect for a day out in the city. Maria loved weekends like this, when the streets were full of people and the air was filled with the sounds of life. She looked forward to shopping, enjoying the city, and maybe treating herself to something nice. Maria lived in a small apartment, and her favorite thing to do on weekends was visit the city center. The streets were always busy with people walking, talking, and laughing. There were many shops with colorful signs, cafes with delicious smells, and street performers playing music. Maria loved the energy of the city. It made her feel happy and alive. She got ready quickly, eager to start her day. She picked out a comfortable outfit, grabbed her shopping list, and slipped her small brown wallet into her bag. Her wallet was special to her. It had a zipper and was just big enough to hold her money ID and a picture of her family. Maria smiled as she thought about the things she wanted to buy: new shoes, a pretty dress, and maybe a gift for a friend. As she stepped outside, Maria felt the warmth of the sun on her face. The city looked so beautiful in the morning light. The streets were already filling up with people. Some were walking their dogs. Others were sitting in cafes, sipping coffee. Everyone seemed to be enjoying the day. Maria decided to visit a shoe store first. She loved shoes and wanted to find the perfect pair for an upcoming party. The shoe store was bright and busy, with rows and rows of shoes in every style and color. She spent some time looking around, trying on a few pairs, but nothing seemed quite right. After a while, she decided to move on and check out a nearby clothing boutique. The boutique was small but charming. It had racks of beautiful dresses, soft sweaters, and shiny accessories. Maria wandered through the shop, touching the fabrics and imagining how the clothes would look on her. As she browsed, she felt a small wave of worry. Something didn't feel right. She reached into her bag to check her wallet, but her hand only found an empty pocket. Her heart skipped a beat. She looked again, this time digging deeper into the bag. But her wallet wasn't there. Maria's mind raced. Oh no, she thought. Where is my wallet? Panic began to rise in her chest. She quickly retraced her steps in her mind. She had been to the shoe store and the boutique. Could she have dropped it somewhere? Without wasting any time, Maria rushed out of the boutique and headed back to the shoe store. She pushed through the crowds, her mind spinning with worry. When she reached the store, she looked around quickly, hoping to spot her wallet on the ground. But it was nowhere in sight. Feeling desperate, Maria approached one of the salespeople. "Excuse me," she said, her voice shaking slightly. "I think I lost my wallet. Did anyone find it?" The salesperson looked at her sympathetically but shook her head. "I'm sorry, I haven't seen a wallet. Maybe you could check with the manager." Maria nodded and made her way to the manager's office. The manager was kind and listened carefully as Maria explained the situation. "Let's check the lost and found," the manager suggested, leading her to a small box in the back of the store. Maria held her breath as they searched through the lost items, but her wallet wasn't there. Disappointed, she thanked the manager and left the store, her heart sinking. She tried to think clearly. Where else did I go? She asked herself. The cafe she had stopped for coffee before going to the shoe store. Maybe her wallet was still there. Maria hurried down the street to the little cafe. The smell of freshly brewed coffee filled the air as she walked in. She approached the barista, her voice full of hope. "Excuse me, did anyone find a wallet? I might have left it here." The barista paused, thinking for a moment, then shook her head. "I'm sorry. I haven't seen a wallet today." Maria's heart sank even further. She thanked the barista and left the cafe, feeling more anxious with each passing minute. She couldn't believe she had lost her wallet. It wasn't just the money. Her ID and her family photo were in there too. She felt a lump in her throat as she thought about the picture of her family. It was one of her most treasured possessions. Trying to stay calm, Maria continued walking, thinking about all the places she had been. Suddenly, she remembered the bookstore. She had gone in for just a few minutes to browse through some magazines. Maybe I dropped it there, she thought, her hope flickering once again. When she arrived at the bookstore, it was quiet and peaceful. She approached a woman working at the front desk. "Excuse me," Maria said softly, trying not to sound too desperate. "I think I lost my wallet. Did anyone find one?" The woman smiled kindly. "I haven't seen a wallet, but I can help you look." Together, they searched under the shelves and behind the counter, but once again, Maria's wallet was nowhere to be found. Feeling defeated, Maria thanked the woman and left the bookstore. As she walked down the street, her steps felt heavier. She had checked everywhere she could think of, but the wallet seemed to be gone. The city, which had felt so bright and full of life earlier in the day, now seemed overwhelming. The crowds of people walking past her felt distant, and Maria felt very alone. She found a bench and sat down, taking a deep breath. She looked at her phone and realized it was almost time to go home. She didn't know what to do next. Should she call someone for help? Should she just give up and go home? The thought of losing her wallet forever made her feel sad and frustrated. Just as she was about to stand up, something caught her eye. A man was walking toward her, holding something small and brown in his hands. Maria's heart skipped a beat. Could it be? She thought, barely daring to hope. The man came closer, and Maria stood up quickly. "Excuse me," she said, her voice filled with excitement. "Is that my wallet?" The man smiled. "Yes, I found this near the shoe store. I think it's yours." Maria's eyes widened in disbelief. She quickly opened the wallet and checked inside. Everything was there: her money, her ID, and most importantly, the picture of her family. She felt an overwhelming sense of relief and gratitude. "Thank you. Thank you so much," she exclaimed, her voice full of emotion. She wanted to hug the man, but instead she smiled as brightly as she could. The man nodded, happy to help, and walked away. Maria stood there for a moment, holding her wallet tightly in her hands. She couldn't believe her luck. After such a stressful day, she finally had her wallet back. But more than that, she had learned something important. As she walked home, Maria thought about the kindness of the people she had met that day. The manager at the shoe store, the barista at the cafe, the woman in the bookstore, and the man who had found her wallet. All of them had been willing to help her. It made her realize how much people cared, even strangers. From that day on, Maria was more careful with her belongings, but she also made a promise to herself. Whenever she saw someone who needed help, she would offer it, just like the people who had helped her. It didn't take much. Just a small act of kindness could make a big difference. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden light over the city, Maria smiled to herself. Her day had started with excitement, turned into worry, but ended with happiness and a lesson she would never forget. It was a day she would always remember. What would you do if you lost something so valuable? Maria's story shows us that even in stressful moments, there's kindness all around. Could this be a lesson we all need? If you enjoyed this story, make sure to like and subscribe for more exciting tales that help you improve your English. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Have you ever lost something important? We'd love to hear from you. Keep learning, and we'll see you in the next adventure.